and gentlemen, my first guest tonight is a four-time Emmy winner for his role on Night Court. He's currently starring in the John Larroquette Show, which has moved to Saturdays at 9 right here on NBC. Let's take a look.
That's right. You're just a guy in a relationship that isn't in the stars.
Yeah, maybe you're right. But who was it that said, the fault, dear Brutus, is not in the stars, but in ourselves?
I think it was Popeye.
Sound like Popeye.
I was gonna say
Welcome, John Larroquette.
Boy, that was an in-depth clip, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, real
That's like
in-depth.
half an episode you showed. The thing I just realized walking out here how much
What?
you look like Michael Crichton. Has anyone ever told you that?
I look like Michael Crichton.
Yes, I was reading that article and he's on the cover of Time
There are
magazine.
pictures of him?
Yes, and you're a large man. He's much larger than either
Yeah.
you or I. 6'9".
He's 6'9"?
Yeah.
That's like freak height, isn't
Yes,
it?
it is. That's like
That's scary tall.
that's like Georgia NBA kind of size, you know.
You don't want to be that size, no.
But I don't know why I thought of that. I just forgot how tall you were.
Oh, I thought I looked like Ralph Mal from Happy Days, you know, the guy. I used to get that when I was younger, and I hung out with the Fonz, so it was confusing.
There's also that sort of Opie on growth hormone look, too.
Opie on growth hormone, thank you. That's going to get me chicks. That's going to work.
I meant that the nicest way possible.
I know you did. My God, what's happened to Opie? So, well, welcome to the program. You've been doing this show now you're on your third season.
Right, as you are, I guess.
As we are. We're
We've sort
both
of
on our
been-
third seasons. That's the charm.
Congratulations to you.
Thank you, and to you.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
The third year in a sitcom is sort of the wheel. Usually if you can get past the third year, the odds are you'll get 5 years, just because you're doing well enough to where everybody starts getting really greedy for that magic 100 number so they can go out in syndication. So
Syndication, that's where all the big money is in sitcoms, right?
yeah, if you're really successful in prime time, there can be a lot of money involved in that.
That's when, you do the show for like 5 years and then you get your own island or something, right?
Yeah, so you buy Marlon Brando, depending upon how much room you really need.
You purchase Brando. All right, very nice. No,
Right.
things are going well for you, although I understand you, unfortunately, you got a little bit of bad press,
Well,
I
Judge,
understand.
It was very strange, and I can't blame anybody. Somebody sent me a copy of an interview an article that appeared in the Dublin Times. Now, this is Irish, first of all, so they don't necessarily have to get their facts straight. But it was an article. It was an article on. Are there Irish people in New York? I didn't think.
No, there are none here, John. There are no Irish people around.
There was an article on Macaulay Culkin. And the article basically centered around the battles he was having with his father. How his father was evil and mean and a failed ballet dancer, which I wasn't aware of. But they got their facts a little strange because they had a picture of Macaulay Culkin, and next to him was a picture of his father, me.
Wait a minute, what are you talking about?
There was a photograph that was taken at the premiere of a film I did with him, with me with my arm around Macaulay, and obviously somebody sent it to Ireland and said, "This is his dad." So they printed this picture of me as this 6'5" failed ballet dancer.
Who's giving Macaulay Culkin, one of the most beloved children of all time, a hard time.
Swollen lips. So I can never go to Ireland in peace unless Ireland doesn't care for Macaulay. Then maybe I'll be some sort of local hero.
Yeah, that's terrible though. What can you actually? You can't do anything about that. It's not like you can.
I sort of like it. I don't think I'd want to change that opinion.
Yeah, not at all. Now, I was a little surprised here because we were talking about you today, preparing for your arrival, and someone mentioned that you're a grandparent now.
Yes.
I can't believe you're a grandfather.
Well, you have a daughter 25 years ago. She gets married, has a child. It works like that.
Okay. All right. I just associate grandfather equals Wilford Brimley. I just think Wilford Brimley and oatmeal when I think grandfather, but here you are in the prime of life with a grandchild. How is it?
It's great. It's sort of like leasing a car. I sort of like it that way because you can use the child as much as you wish, and when it's dirty, pass it back to the owner. But he is
It's a real Hallmark sentiment you got there.
He is a beautiful boy. It's quite a remarkable experience to see that that line continue. It's great.
It's a very cool thing. Well, can you hang on one sec? We have to do a commercial break. When we come back, we'll have more with John Larroquette. Hang on a second. John Larroquette.
We got SRO here, I know.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Are you enjoying it here, actually, in New York City? You having a good time?
I love New York City.
Yeah,
I must say I do.
Have you done theater here in New York?
No, I have never done theater. I would like very much to do that. But, I started acting in Los Angeles, and I was fortunate very early on that I started working regularly, so I didn't have any need to travel. And so my time has never allowed me to do that, but I'd love to do that at some point.
Did you do theater there?
I started actually in theater in Los Angeles, in small theater, what we call equity waiver there, which is 100 seats or less in a theater. And it actually was the thing that got me an agent and got me known around the city because of some of the stuff I had done. I ended up in the hospital a few times, but other than that, it was a fun experience.
Well, theater often leads to... Well, you got hurt doing a show?
Not only hurt, but once I was on my way to the opening night of a play that I was starring in, and I was arrested on the way to the theater. So there were 100 people sitting in the theater waiting for the play to start, and the director got on the stage and said, look, we have a small glitch in this evening's performance. Our leading man is in prison. So they made a bunch of coffee and gave cookies to the audience, and everybody stayed around and waited till I got bailed out.
What were you actually doing? Or?
I had killed somebody. They let me out.
That gets applause in New York. People are like, hey, you're one of us.
It was stupid. It was, they'd stopped me for a stoplight or something, and I had outstanding tickets, and they just put those, those little baggy clips on me and took me.
That's humiliating when they don't even use the real cuffs.
No.
When they just tie Kleenex around your hands and bring you in.
The thing I was most surprised at, you're sitting in the back of this police car, completely immobile, and there's a policeman sitting next to you in those days. And I said, what happens if you guys get in a wreck and this car just explodes into flames? I'm sitting here, impossible to get out. And he said, well, I guess you'd die with us. L.A. L.A. But I have. I've knocked myself out on stage.
Knocked yourself out?
Right. I almost cut my nose off. I don't know how close can you get to this?
My God, you've got stitches running.
Yeah, that was actually on film.
What kind of play is this?
This is actually
the Power
film.
Tool story. What were you doing?
A movie called Stripes in the early '80s, and I ran through a door and smashed my face in a glass window.
Really? So you're just covered with scars?
Yeah, a friend of mine broke my ankle for me on film once. I was doing a play called Black Comedy, which is, to the actor's viewpoint, it's pitch dark. Obviously, lights are on so the audience will see them. And everybody has to feel around, and I grabbed a vase and broke it and split my thumb wide open. And I can't leave the stage. This character is through the whole play. So for most of the first act, I'm touching people all over the stage, trying to stop this thing happening.
It's like Blue Man Group. Yeah, luckily, you're just shooting, just shooting everybody.
What a great Dan Aykroyd doing Julia Child. So I finally... Luckily, the stage manager saw what happened. In the middle of the play, which is not supposed to be part of the play, I went, was that the phone? And I ran off stage. So that he was there with peroxide and bandages. So I left stage, came out with this huge garlic-sized bandage on my thumb and finished the play.
Wait a minute, you're allowed to just at any point in theater say, is that the phone, and leave?
Yeah.
What if you're doing, Julius Caesar or some Shakespeare classic?
That would be then, hearken, I hear a soldier.
Then it works beautifully. We learn. We learn as we go. Let me just make sure I mention, of course, the John Larroquette Show has moved. It's Saturdays now at 9.
9 o'clock
right?
on the Nothing But Comedy Network.
NBC.
That's right.
God, how we love them. John Larroquette, everybody. Thanks so much for coming. We'll take a break. We'll be right back.